United! 55 United! 55 United! 55 United!
This is the 2018 West Virginia teacher strike. For 9 days, 20,000 teachers went on strike across the state in response to anger over low pay and high healthcare costs. Wages were so low that many teachers even had to use food stamps. After negotiations, West Virginia legislature unanimously passed a bill to give teachers and education employees a 5% pay raise. Teacher strikes like this are not uncommon in the United States. Chicago teachers went on strike in both 2012 and 2019, and the West Virginia strikes inspired additional ones in other states, including Arizona, Colorado, and Oklahoma. But why are teaching strikes important, and not just another strike filled with average workers protesting low pay? Well, a much heavier weight is placed onto teachers to prepare students for the rest of their lives. We as a country understand that teachers are in an extremely important position. They aren't just selling something or providing a basic service. Teachers are under the expectation that they will prepare the next generation to succeed. This is Tabitha Rossboy, who in 2020 won the National Teacher of the Year award. She is an advocate for teachers' rights, and in a CBS exclusive interview, she introduces the problem our education system is facing.
Do that. And one major reason that teachers are leaving the profession is that compensation is not fair for our educators. Some of our districts have said, we've frozen salaries this year, but here's a $200 COVID bonus, right, for working through hazardous work conditions. And the emotional labor, the physical labor, the amount of extra work and things we had to learn have not been fairly compensated.
A recent 2020 study explores the teacher wage gap that Tabitha Rossboy is talking about. This table compares the weekly earnings of public school teachers and non-teachers. It looks confusing, but let's focus only on the first two variables: participants with a master's or doctorate degree. Non-teachers consistently earn more than teachers with the same degrees do. Almost any student choosing their college major would look at this data and decide that becoming a teacher is obviously not worth it. But how would increased pay affect student performance? With such low pay, it is common for teachers to be overworked, causing their ability to teach effectively to drop dramatically. Would increasing pay make teachers better teachers? Would it make the job more competitive and allow for a better selection of more qualified teachers? Or are there alternative approaches to improve student performance? This 2009 journal article explores the characteristics of underprepared students. Its research found that only 22%, not even a quarter, of high school students demonstrated readiness in all academic areas: English, science, and mathematics. Only 50% of students demonstrated readiness in 2 of those areas, meaning that over a quarter of students are completely underprepared for college, and the majority still need major improvement. These students are underprepared, not only for college, but to enter the workforce, to vote, and to handle their finances. But higher education doesn't only prepare students themselves. The benefits of college include reduced crime, improved social health and cohesion, better informed citizenship, participation in the arts, and more. Clearly, a college education is more than just a personal investment. It is a societal one. Numerous studies have examined the relationship between teacher pay and educational outcomes. One study found that raising the wages of teachers by 50% will reduce high school dropout rates by more than 15%. But with over 1 million high school teachers alone in the United States, and the average teacher salary being about $40,000, a $20 billion increase in federal spending is very unlikely. However, the same study found that a 10% increase in teacher salaries would result in a 4% decrease in dropouts, which is much more realistic. That's 48,000 less dropouts per year, a drastic decrease. Another study, however, finds that higher pay affects the teacher experience dramatically more than the student. The study finds that tenure and teacher experience is a major factor influencing student outcomes. Plus, the wage returns to tenure exceed the wage returns to experience obtained in other firms, giving more incentive for people to become teachers. But if raising teacher pay across the board improves teacher experience rather than student performance, are there any alternatives? Several recent studies find that high-quality teachers respond to incentives. In 2011, Wisconsin legislature signed Act 10, giving districts full autonomy to determine compensation without union consent. It caused some school districts to pay some teachers more than others, despite the same or similar teaching experience. Surprisingly, this helped schools. Districts with worse schools could offer more to teachers with more experience. More experience means better student performance. When all districts reward seniority at the same rate, teachers have lower incentives to move across districts. So, does increasing teacher wage improve student performance? Yes, but it's not so simple. Think about teachers you have had in the past. Would simply handing them a check really make them change their teaching habits? Maybe, but maybe not. Increasing pay across the board does increase student performance, but a larger increase can actually be achieved by creating disparities in pay between districts, so that more experienced teachers can improve student performance where it is needed the most.